It is St. Patrick's Day, so how can we not have the Notre Dame football head coach on this program before spring practice, a couple weeks before his pro day? Brian Kelly here on the Rich Eisen Show. Coach, how are you?
That could be the best segue I've ever had.
Do you think so?
It is.
Well,
it's obviously you're talking NFL football, and to segue into
yes.
college football with St. Patrick's Day. This is. I feel pretty honored.
You know what, Coach? It takes a Michigan man to give a segue. I just want you know that, right?
Well, I know Harbaugh wasn't available today, so I'm okay with that.
Now, that is not true. You were my first choice for today.
I know, because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Well, and plus we haven't spoken in a while since you were part of the NFL Network draft coverage a couple years ago.
Which you do an incredible job, and
thank you.
It's wall-to-wall coverage, and you still get out there and run a 40, which I'm amazed.
You know what? Hey, listen, Coach, you know whatever beats inside can't be taught. You know that.
I certainly do.
You know that. And if you want to, if you want to offer, if you want to come to the house, sit on the couch, and try and recruit, my door's always open. You know that.
Well, I lost one time to Michigan. I'm not going to go in there again.
You're too kind. You're being very kind in that regard. Coach Brian Kelly of Notre Dame joining me right here. Before we get to your scene and the spring practice that's about to begin, I do want to ask you about Chris Borland's decision to retire and everybody believing that this could be the beginning of younger players no longer wanting to play the sport. Do you see at your level, and when you are recruiting or you are in the high school scene and looking at kids, seeing more and more people taking this decision under more consideration whether or not to play the sport? Do you see that, Coach, at all?
I really don't. I really look at it as somebody who did not want to play football anymore. And, certainly the medical information is out there, and, we've seen, and it's been chronicled that certainly there are some links to the concussions. But, as we continue to learn more about, head injury, we're certainly, teaching, coaching, taking the precautions necessary to take the head out of the game and make sure that it's safe. But I think there's still going to be some reactions to those that don't want to play the game. And in this instance, Borland's only had a couple of instances. Heck, I fell off my bike. I had a concussion. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be concussions. I think that everybody's going to have their own decisions as it relates to what they think those far-reaching effects are. But I am not seeing it out there in the recruiting world that people are starting to now become more hesitant about playing the game.
Brian Kelly, coach of Notre Dame football, joining me here on the St. Patrick's Day edition of the Rich Eisen Show. So you are opening up spring practice. And the question is who's going to be your quarterback? You do have Everett Golson in a fifth-year senior coming back to this program. And then you also have a kid, Malik Zaire, who had only 6 quarters of play last year. Is there an open competition for quarterback at Notre Dame right now?
Yeah, they have to compete for it. Malik was the MVP of our bowl game win against LSU, and Everett certainly did great things for us and led us to an undefeated regular season and a berth in the national championship game. So, we're very fortunate. All we needed was a commitment that Everett wanted to compete for the quarterback position, and that's what he wants to do. So, look, there's 3 guys up in Columbus competing for it as well. And, so to have 2 is nothing. So on relative terms, it's about kids wanting to compete and not, running away from competition. And they're not running from it. They want to compete, and that's a good thing for our football team.
Well, there's still also, as in Columbus, discussion that one of the kids who is competing might just transfer instead of competing. Is when you say you've got a commitment, so Everett has said, I'm not transferring, I'm staying at Notre Dame, and I'm competing for this gig?
That's what he said to me, that he wants to be here, he wants to compete for the position, and this is the best opportunity for him. And, certainly I take him for his word that, And you could tell, Rich, you know this, and you could tell if somebody's committed or not. They're usually the first one to leave. They're probably the last one in. You can tell by their body language if they're bought in or not. Everett's been the exact opposite of that. So you can tell he's 100% bought into wanting to be here, wanting to compete for the quarterback position. So we feel pretty good about it.
What else should Notre Dame fans know about spring practice just beginning, Coach? What else?
I think it's the first time since I've been here where we feel like we've got the depth in our program to go out and contact and compete and bang it around and actually have a true spring practice where I don't feel like I have to tiptoe around different position groups and feel like, they got to have a red jersey on them. You can't hit this group. You can't hit that group. So depth amongst the ranks, 19, 20 starters returning. Really no excuses for us not to be competing for, one of those 4 playoff spots.
Brian Kelly, Notre Dame head coach, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show a couple weeks also before the pro day. For all the NFL scouts to come in and take a look at the Golden Domers at the next level. That's March 31st. So when you get somebody knocking on your door talking about a kid, what are they mostly asking about? X's and O's or off the field stuff, Coach?
What I get more than anything else is their passion for the game. Do they love to play? Is this, what's their football intelligence? I don't want to sound like we've got all the answers, but if they decide to come to Notre Dame with the rigors of the academics and the kind of calendar that they have to keep on a day-to-day basis, they feel like for the most part that they're doing the right things. And we get a lot of the questions about making sure that they love football more than math, and that the game is really important to them, and that they've got football intelligence, and this is what they want to do. We get a lot of that, and I think more times than not, their physical ability is going to show themselves through their evaluation and through their testing.
So you've seen Jameis Winston up close and personal. What do you think about his next level, first overall pick possibility, Coach Kelly, with Mariota, that discussion that's at the top of draft boards right now in the National Football League?
I personally think he's the best quarterback in college football. I just, now I've gotten to study him a little bit more closely than Marcus because we played Jameis. Mm-hmm. So I've got a little bit more information, though I've seen a lot of Marcus, and I think he's an outstanding quarterback. But I just love Winston's on-field leadership, the way he adjusts in-game. I like his NFL pocket presence. I just think he fits so many styles and systems in the NFL. I just think for me he's an easy number 1 pick.
And then lastly, a big game on Thursday, first game of the NCAA tournament in my mind. I don't include the play-in games with all due respect. Notre Dame, number 3 seed in the Midwest against Northeastern. 12:15 p.m. Eastern tip, with Mike Bray taking the Fighting Irish out there on the hardwood. What's your relationship with Mike Bray like, Coach?
It's a great one. It's been one where obviously. There's a lot of scrutiny on the programs, and we sometimes have a bunker mentality as it relates to the program. So I'm just so excited for Mike to get that ACC championship. I think when we first went into the ACC with all of our sports except for football, I think many people were saying, well, if they can finish in the top half, wouldn't that be great? And of course they beat Duke twice in North Carolina and win the ACC. So I'm happy for his players, but he's got some warriors in there, and they're going to be a tough out. I mean, they play really good offense, and I think they play defense well enough to win, but they've got some moxie and some tough kids and some seniors and some leadership, and hoping to see them match up against Kentucky for a trip to the Final Four.
See, that word to me, that moxie word, I know you've got roots to the state of Michigan, Coach. That's a bow word right there. Moxie is a bow word.
It is. They come out when you spent 20 something years in the state of Michigan. Yes. They're going to slip now and then.
It's okay. It's part of your DNA. It's part of who you are, Coach. Don't be afraid of it.
That was all my time in Central Michigan.
That's right. You're a Chippewa. Let's not forget. Dick Enberg's from there too. I mean, you got there's some serious alums. from
Joe
right there.
Staley.
That's right, Joe Staley. Hey, Coach, before I let you go, our poll question today is the greatest Irish export. What are the choices again, Chris Brockman, for the coach?
Famed band U2.
U2.
A tasty Guinness.
Guinness.
The lovely Olivia Wilde.
Great actress.
Or Liam Neeson.
Or Liam Neeson. What do you think? U2, Guinness, Olivia Wilde, or Liam Neeson?
My
Best
God.
Irish import.
I'm going to have to go with Guinness.
There you go. That's another one. Dan Patrick said the same thing.
Yeah, well, he thinks like me. That's not good.
Coach,
I got to go check myself in.
Can't do that. You've got busy next couple weeks for sure. Coach, thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it.
All right, Rich. Great talking to you. Take care.
You bet. There he is. There's Brian Kelly.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.